Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Spectator Mode Podcast. This is episode 201, and I'm joined by my co-host Keith.
Oh, you want me to say something instead of putting my hand up? Okay, hi folks, how you doing?
That was fantastic. It's back from ranting for episode 200. Now he has no energy. He's old. He be put down like the dog he is, and then we got Scott next to him.
You know,
I have a camera again.
It's taking all my energy. All of it's gone. Sorry.
Yeah, and then we have the former Evo then Impact champion and now 2XKO champion, Kevin.
Here we go.
No, like
he's like, could you stop, please?
Right?
You know, I said
how did I teleport there and come back so quickly?
Like you're no longer now. You're the
2XKO
champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, after you press start and you logged into the lobby and no one was there and they just gave you the belt and like I'm the best. That was great. Fantastic. That was a great experience for you. But no, we have a great episode for you guys this time around. And we got before we talk about anything, let's talk about games we've been playing. And we're going to start with Kevin. And I hope it wasn't just logging to 2XKO and getting his free skin.
Yeah, 2XKO, the beta, played that. What else? Virtual Fighter 5, Revo World Stage, playing that right now.
Isn't there a beta for the console for that?
Yeah, it's for everything. So Xbox, PlayStation 5, and Steam. Except for Nintendo Switch 2, for some reason.
Yikes.
Yeah, they're working on it.
They probably don't have a dev kit.
They don't have a dev kit.
They announced it so far.
You know, that thing blows my mind that when developers like, we're working on a game for your console, especially AAA developers, and Nintendo's like, we're not sending you shit.
I mean, it's Nintendo at this point. It's not even hating Nintendo. It's Nintendo. I mean, I feel like a lot of people want to be like part of Nintendo, like a historical moment, but Nintendo reality is like a whole different thing. I feel like they're not the most applicable to third parties, and that's leaving it there. That's just leaving it there.
Oh well.
But yeah, so you've been playing. So that's it. You've just been playing just Virtual Fighter, 2XKO. Anything else you've been doing? Anything you've been playing? That's it.
Did he freeze?
Yeah, I think
he ran away.
He ran away.
This is how he teleports between Evo and here. No,
exactly. Yeah. I told you. People don't want to admit. People didn't want to admit I was right. Like that's what he did. That's how he became champion.
It's just perfect.
Right?
It's perfect. It's over. And while we wait for Kevin to teleport back in this timeline, Scott, what you been up to?
Alrighty, so I've have a good chunk of games, but the first one will be another beta, I guess, that was going around, which is Blue Protocol Star Resonance.
Oh,
was one that I finally got my hands on.
I didn't get my hands on. I signed for the beta. They told me you're not allowed to play this game because you're a brokey. I'm like, thanks, that hurt my feelings, but you know.
So it's interesting because this is kind of. I was initially thinking it was going to be more like a Genshin Impact style game, where it's going to be more about parties and more about elements and stuff, but Blue Protocol itself is more of a mix of like action RPG and MMO. So it has a lot more MMO actual like quality of life features, has a lot more MMO style gameplay of just like the cooldown systems you have to work through and all that. But it does have a lot of fun variety in its customization in terms of its characters and the outfits that you can get in the game. So I think that's going to be one of the big selling points for a lot of, I guess, especially like the fans who are annoyed of the MMO systems that we have now, where it's just kind of like a lot of the great outfits are usually you have to pay to buy them.
Yeah, I feel like when I saw what appealing to the game was like it reminded me of like I would say lobby-esque or like old school like ARPG kind of MMO games.
Yeah. So it's like that mixed with like the older style like MMO systems. So if you're someone who is waiting for more games like that, which I am actually one of those people who used to love the older MMOs of like the early 2010s. I think as soon as like Final Fantasy 14 hit, everyone tried to be the next Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, I agree with that so much, bro. It's like people don't understand. It's like there is much more to Final Fantasy 14 than just mechanics.
Yeah,
much more.
So we lost a lot of those systems that we had in place in like the early 2000s. So I'm really excited to see this kind of like renaissance of like games that are coming out that are trying to be more like the 2000 style games. But just, with better gameplay and better quality of life features rather than just trying to stick with, now we're just like in a mire of every other like current new MMOs that are going on. That's trying to be a game, but also not with an MMO system. So I'm really excited that they're actually just sticking with, hey, this is our style of game. If you liked it back then, you'll like this now. Plus, you'll still get with like current times of gameplay. So yeah, I am really excited for when Blue Protocol does come out. I think it comes out in October. So it's actually pretty soon. So yeah, I almost feel like we just have to do a whole segment of just like, these are all the good games to look out for in October, because there's like 50 games coming out next month.
We do that article every month, so we should probably do that.
But can we even do 10? We'll have to be 20. No.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. So Blue Protocol is really fun. I had my fun time with the beta. The other game that I've been playing was then I had a review come up, which was Varlet, or it's Varlet. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's Varlet because that's how it looks. But it's essentially so for like fun context, the developers of Varlet were basically a Curia, which are the old SAO games developers mixed with Furyu, who are the developers of like the Monarch games, who are also the people who are no longer on the Atlas team who used to work on the SMT 1, 2, and 3 games. So a lot of those devs, once basically SMT transferred to like Persona, some of the SMT devs went somewhere else. And so one of the locations it went to was Furyu. So Furyu's been developing games like this since then with like the Kalagas protocol. So Varlet is another one of their games, but also they teamed up with the SAO people, which is interesting because Furyu doesn't generally team up with other developers. They'll usually team up with publishers. But this time Furyu is self-publishing as well as helping develop Varlet. And it's actually really interesting. It's really intriguing. It still has some of the problems that people don't like of Furyu. Like, it's a smaller budget game, smaller time frame game, priced the way that it is for people who generally are hoping for like a 100-hour Persona experience, but it's not that.
No.
People keep constantly wanting to get their games thinking it's Persona because, hey, it's done by the SMT devs. It's like, yes, but it's the SMT devs before Persona was the popular one.
It also shows, like, to me, a lack of intelligence. That's a whole argument. It's like SMT is a very different game style.
Yes,
I mean, we have Civil Survivor, all that jazz. And like, do you understand other video games? Can we?
Yeah.
Like,
so
like SMT 5 came out like a couple of months ago. Can you try that, please? Can you try that?
Yeah. Plus, I mean, SMT 5 Vengeance is a fantastic game, and it does do very well with the elements that they try to do with SMT. So, like, one of the things that SMT generally always does is it's always like a fight between like demon, monsters, angels kind of a thing, and you decide what you're going to be basically fighting over. In Varlet, it's more of you fighting over different personalities of, well, basically yourself. Are you a kind person? Are you a mean person? Are you someone who wants to get stuff done? Are you productive? Are you not productive? It has a lot of different like elements that's tied into constructing your character as well as your character's play style going forward. Because as you get more points into specific attributes, like your what's it called? Oh, geez, the attributes are interesting. It's like altruism, valor, and another like few other ones you have to work on. And based on how many points you have in specific attributes, will determine the moves that you have access to as a character, as well as determines your eventual play style later on in the game, where your character will basically be in a divide between either becoming a leader of his classmates or a ruler of his classmates. And the leader basically is a buffing type character who buffs your players, and it helps give them speed and passive boosts. And then a ruler gives your character just a lot of passives, and it also basically increases everybody's attack power. But the more that you attack, the more damage that you take back from it. So it's like a very interesting style of learning so the premise of the game when it was made was self-discovery. It's learning how you want to be in this classroom setting. How did you treat your peers? And how you treat your peers is also how it's going to determine your playstyle. So it's kind of really interesting in that regard. But yes, there are a lot of elements that people are going to probably see as like Persona, like their social bonding. There is the Will of Rebellion that comes in as you go to the other world. There is the ability to like manifest your own desire. So there's a lot of like elements that you can find that people will think this is Persona, but then are super unhappy that it's not Persona.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of crazy how like, and I mean this politely, it's like you guys please play more video games, but unironically, not everything has to be Persona. I think it's bad for the industry if you all just copy the same people, the same idea 20 times over. Maybe you should play more video games. I don't know. It costs nothing. It's called Steam sales. Please
it costs $3 on Steam, but then again, if you're not a Steam player, I feel bad because you don't get as many sales.
Yeah, that's a bummer right there.
Another game that I was playing was Digimon Story Time Stranger. So I recently have a preview of this actually on our YouTube as well on the website. But there is a lot that this game is doing for the Digimon Story series, like a ton. It has better graphics, a more Digimon, has a more, well, not really better. I wouldn't say it's like a better story, but it's a much different story, and it has a lot more elements that people are going to recognize from, like, if you're someone who keeps track of like the anime or the lore of Digimon, it keeps up with that a lot more. Whereas with like Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory, it was more of like its own offshoot of the universe with a little bit of the lore that was tied into it. Whereas this one, they went full ham on, we love Digimon. If you love Digimon, you'll love this game, but also it's still an entry point for people who want to get into the series.
I will stop Scott right there. I've never played a Digimon game in my entire life, and I played it, and I was like, wow, this is great stuff. Really loved it.
It is really fun. It is really fun, and so the demo recently went out this week too, and I've been playing. Have like 3.5 hours now in the demo where I'm just going around and leveling up my party and getting different Digimon to Digivolve because some require different stats and everything. So I'm trying to do my best to get as many Digimon as I can before the game releases so that I will have already like a good amount of Digimon that I can basically work with to Digivolve, or if I do need to eventually convert them into experience points or stats for another Digimon, I can do that. So there's a lot that you can do in the demo in that sense, but overall the demo is like an hour and a half long. It's the first hour and a half of the game, but there's also like a adventure hub that you can go to that's like 30 minutes. Or you can spend like an hour there just discovering stuff, but there's not a lot of battles you can do. But it's a lot of like, this is how you adventure in the world of Digimon, which they do let you actually ride your Digimon, or you can have, like, if your Digimon is like a flyer, they can carry you. There's a lot of things that the Digimon can do. And it's also really fun that they have involved like the personality types as something that actually involves you as a character more so than just a menu. So you can actually talk to the Digimon. You can also influence them based on how they do battle. They can be influenced based on what section of like the Digifarm you put them in. So there's a lot of things that this game is doing that if you like Digimon, this is going to be a game to get into. But also it just does a lot of really good mechanics for JRPG turn-based systems in general. So if you like that, you will also like this game. And the final game that I've been playing that I can talk about is this. If you can read that, let me get it closer. Trails in the Sky, first chapter, baby.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Look at this guy.
So I'm working on a review for this. The review will be up whenever I get done. I'm trying not to rush my time because, I mean, it's like, yes, I know most of the story beats of Trails in the Sky, first chapter, because I played it like forever ago. But the way that they do a lot of the presentation for this is really good. It's honestly phenomenal in how they do so much of the like original game and how well they do it with in regards to basically everything with the system. I actually think that they balanced and paced this a lot better than the balance and pace of the original game was. But I think that's also just due to the fact of how the game's balance in the first game was geared towards like a 4-person party. And the 4-person party is never always represented in the game at like any significant time. It's always like in like the post-chapter settings when you're finishing up some of the side quests, then you have a 4-person party kind of a deal. A lot of the time, it's either 2 or 3 characters in your party, so you're always going to feel a little overwhelmed if you don't overlevel your character in the first one. And this one, because they have the action turn-based system, where you can actually get rid of a lot of like the early enemies without actually going into turn-based mode, it feels a lot better to play. So you can actually spend your time doing the action combat, and then when you get to the big like guy in the middle, then you can start the turn-based mode and then actually do combat. So it feels a whole lot better, and it feels a lot more manageable than the original game did feel.
No. Here's a real question from a Trails fan, and this is not a joke question. Musically, do we have the original OST or we have a remixed OST? I mean that quite seriously.
We have 3 different OSTs in the game. The original, the Vita Evo version of the game OST, and a new remixed version of the OST. And all 3 of those are phenomenal, by the way.
I'm holding back the tears right now. You know that, right?
The new one is still fantastic. Yeah, the new one is fantastic. Evo was one of my favorites. Like, I loved how they changed it in Evo.
I know.
And it was one of the things that I was so sad about that we didn't get here. But, you can do mods on the PC version. But the PSP version that we initially got, the original soundtrack is fantastic. But the Evo one, where they did so much for the game, like with the voice acting, with everything, I'm so sad that we did not get the Vita version of the game here. I wish we did. Yeah. But I'm 100% fine now with getting this version here, and this being the version that people get to experience Trails for the first time as. So, yes, the soundtrack is all 3 of those. You can decide at any time what music you want to change to. It's phenomenal. This was basically like them perfecting every system that they worked on for this game, which means when they actually they are currently working on the 2nd chapter remake. So when that comes out, that is also going to be a phenomenal game.
God damn it.
So if you are a Trails fan, yes, you're going to be wanting this game. If you're someone who wants to know why there are so many people who are devout to Trails, this is also the game you want to play. This is the very start of the series. And this actually has... So, I don't want to go too much into a tangent on this, but basically, the original ones that we got here in the US and the PSP and the PC versions, those were done by Xseed, and they have their own different localization teams. And when it got transferred to NIS America for Cold Steel 3 and 4, people started disliking NIS America because their localization was different than Xseed's. And so the interesting thing about this version of, in my opinion, of Trails in the Sky First is also this is a lot more accurate to the NIS America localization standards, because NIS America was a lot more, they're not literal, but that's a lot more to the same type of writing that the actual Falcom writers like in the game. So some people will be kind of sad because Xseed had a lot of, let's just say, colorful dialogue that doesn't get fully represented here, but it was still like accurate to the characters. But some people like that. There are definite moments that I really hope that even if we don't get like the colorful sections as much, the 2nd game, especially with the 2nd chapter, I do want to see how it does get represented with this new translation and this new localization. Because I do think it's still phenomenal, but it also still has a lot of the same phrases that you see in the NS America ones that happen a lot of the time. So if you don't like those phrases that happen, because they're trying to make the world have universal phrases that happen in the world. Because for those of you who know, Trails games are huge with world building and placement and atmosphere and immersion. And being in this world does have a different speaking style than it does in real life. So it likes to focus on, this is how they say these types of things, like adios instead of like normal God, or the way they do prayers, or the way they do this is this specific way. That's how NS America does it, because that's how Falcom wants it to be done. So this is how Gung Ho's doing it. So it's interesting that this is going to... I was always worried that the way that they were doing it is going to be like a weird third middle child between the Xseed and the NS America. But it's a lot more on the NS America side. So it's going to be a lot more uniform once all the remakes do get out, which will be interesting. But yeah, so Trails in the Sky First chapter is phenomenal. I do think it represents the game extremely well, especially for those who want to get into the series, especially because of the new gameplay mechanics, and its balance is not terrible.
I mean, to be fair, this is from a standpoint. This is technically built off the Daybreak 2 engine. Which I'm not the Daybreak 2, but I heard nothing but phenomenal thing about Daybreak 2 engine. So
the gameplay of Daybreak 2 is phenomenal, and the little bit of time that I got with Trails Beyond the Horizon, it's even better.
Yeah, so that is a lot. That was a lot right there. So now, hopefully, you got your energy build up there. Keith, can you tell me something?
I think this is why when I host the show, I have him go last, because it's not fair to have anybody follow what Scott has done.
I mean, I mean, you don't follow up with me. That's why I'm going last. I got worse than you, buddy.
But I got less because I haven't really been doing a lot. So I've been playing a lot of Cronos. I've already beaten it once. We're going back to play it again because just like Resident Evil, it gives you a ranking on how well you did. And I didn't like my last ranking, and it took me 14 hours to beat the game, which is ironic because they tell people it's supposed to take 20 hours. So I'm going to go back and try and beat it a little faster. I can say it. I've been playing Sonic Racing Cross World.
Yes.
Obviously, I can't
Phenomenal
talk
game.
about it. And there's so many things I would love to say about it, but I can't. But know that I'm playing that game.
Look at the site for a review that may show up.
Yeah, look at the site for review on the 18th. Playing a lot of Elden Ring, Night Ring. The new mode came out Deep of the Night, and it is kicking people's asses. I'm looking at the Reddit, and people were just like, "What is going on here?" And it's hilarious because people kept saying we want a harder game mode. So From Software was like, "All right, here's your harder game mode." People were now going, "It's too hard." You asked for this, so shut up and play
Hey
it.
man, it's the same thing happened in Final Fantasy 14. We wanted more harder raids. Dropped the Mega Protocol, then only bitching about it's too hard. You know that happened. So ever since then, I don't trust people.
I love it. I mean, I love it. First of all, I love the fact that it's more of a challenge because, as I said in my impressions of it, it's making me pay attention. It's making me pay attention to my builds. It's making me not just sit still and randomly talk shit or attack stuff. I need to pay attention to my health more often. I need to pay attention to my positioning. I need to pay attention to this boss is doing shit that he didn't do before. So it's like, all right, great. This is great. It's me learning Night Ring all over again. Meanwhile, you got people that are playing it like it's a base game and they're dying over and over and over. And then they're quitting the game. And it's like, if you're playing this like it's the original game, when they literally told you it is harder, and it's going to get even harder the more levels you gain up. So there's 5 depths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next depth you get to is even harder than the last one. Like I literally saw a guy post on Reddit, this is me in depth 3. And enemies will just one-shot him left and right. And he was like, I don't understand how you're supposed to get past this. So it's going to be fun. I'm still in depth 1 because I've been playing with a lot of randos that have not been doing a good job. But it's been interesting. So I've been playing a lot of that. Honestly, that is just about it.
All right,
I'm playing a lot because trying to get through Sonic and it for all you people who are watching this podcast and listening to it and watching it. I feel your pain when we talk about that. Hey, certain months are just packed with games and you're asked to review certain things and you're just like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to do this. We understand. We feel your pain. Trust us. It's crazy. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, you could just sacrifice sleep. That's what I do. But speaking of sacrifice,
I already do that enough.
You don't do it well. You don't do it well enough. I have a system at it. So, due to this guy called Josh on the website, one of our good writers, he convinced me to get the Bazaar cheap. So I've been playing a lot of the Bazaar. Fantastic game. It's decently balanced. I feel like it's easy. Well, for me, it's easy to understand because I'm a numbers guy. So having a lot of fun doing that. They just fixed their ranked mode, so I'll be trying that maybe in the future. I've been playing Marvel Rivals a lot. New season came out. Played Angela for a bit. Angela's really fun. She has a spear. She has abs. People are calling her mommy in chat, so I had to block them for that. Again, look, Emma was mommy. Now she's mommy. It's just over. So
Yeah,
it's over. Well, all I know is I just call Laguna Rivals. Just leave it a day.
Do many people actually know where she came from? Have you had to school any people on her yet?
Not yet. I've only had to school one person, but it was politely yeah. But even then, there's a whole divisive argument about what happened with the characters, such as the 2 creators, and both of them. Well, one of them sucked more than the other. I'll leave it as that. If you know comics, so skip that tangent. I've also been playing a lot of which we talk about later in the podcast. I play a lot of 2XKO. I play a lot of Marvel Token, the prior beta that was last week, but I was playing as well. I've also been playing a lot of Streets of Rage 3 Remake. Streets of Rage Remake, it's really fun. I found the final update for it because the last one I had was 4.0, and there was an update called 5.0, so I got that. I played a game that I have to talk soon with, off camera. This is the impression review with this guy called Jordan and Scott, and shout out to Will. Hope you're doing well. Been playing a game that'll be released on the YouTube channel soon. I have been playing a lot of Stick It to the Stick Man, and then one game that connects me and my brother a lot is goddamn Borderlands 4. Borderlands 4. It is a good game. It plays well, and that's pretty much it. And then on a side note, I've also been trying to relearn playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14 PvP. I think I'm going to try to learn Bard. I think Scott jumped by the stream and say, "You're playing Bard?" Yeah, I guess I'm playing Bard now because my Red Mage just ain't cutting no more. People know how to deal with Red Mage. I'm out the fire. So yeah, I that's pretty much everything I've been doing in a nutshell. Oh, and I've also been playing backyard football because I love my backyard sports games. Because I'm an old man who plays point-click adventure games. See, then that wraps everything up. The chime right there. And that chime is chime. And that chime is letting us know, is sending us like a canary in a cold mine. Some people are worried about the success of Cronos, the New Dawn. Why are they worried about success? It's just an okay horror game. Like why are they? It's horror games always kind of bump up and down. Well, they do. Like Mouthwash was successful, but no one's talking about Mouthwash anymore.
Well, it's more of the concern of the studio than the actual game itself. So I should have made that a bit more clear. So for those who've not played Cronos, the New Dawn, or have heard of it, it is an amazing survival horror game from Bloober Team. It is basically on the same level as Resident Evil 2 remake in Dead Space. It literally sits in between those two games. It is such an amazing game. It does a lot of great things. The gunplay is fun. The gameplay is fun. It does get a little overwhelming because it is a survival horror game. And of course, you go through the whole thing of inventory and limited ammo, and people get a little frustrated about that. And some people even wondered why the game doesn't have a dodge, which is why I made an article that's doing well, but also causing a little bit of conflict on Reddit and other places because people are like, it should have a dodge. And other people are like, no, it shouldn't have a dodge. It's a survival horror game. And side note to that, I need to speak to a developer who worked on survival horror games because somebody posed an interesting question and I don't have an answer for that. And that was basically, when they make these survival horror games, do they plan for that you are going to get hit regardless? And I'm like, I think that's a yes. I've never seen anybody do a no hit run in a survival horror game.
And I see people do it for Resident Evil, but
But I think they want you to get hit. That's part of the suspense.
My opinion of this is like, if you're going to have a no dodge system, how good is your movement speed? If your movement is butt poor, well, that's suffering, and that's the point. That's it. I think I chalk it up to what am I getting if I don't get a dodge? Like in Borderlands 4, if I pick a weapon that has poor reload, if I don't have high damage, it's just a bad weapon. Basic stuff like that. What's your cons and pros for it?
So getting off of that, which is a good article, I think you should check it out. So, or Outerhaven, of course. So my concern is that Cronos, the New Dawn, so far, or at least up September 5th, I believe it was reported that the game has only sold 200,000 copies. Now, this game has been released on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, a PC, and now on Switch too. It's also a bad month for this game to be released. A very bad month for this game to be released. Also,
it's a bad month for any game to be released at this point.
And for some survival horror games, if you're not one of the big survival horror game names like Silent Hill or Resident Evil, it's a hat toss. It really depends on how well you do and how the word of mouth, and that's pretty much it. But my frustration isn't that the game only sold 200,000 copies. It's the fact that based on the math that people have been doing, and we've been talking about this, that means the developers recouped half of the development costs on this game. And this is from Bloober Team, and they're not the biggest developer in terms of a financial footprint. So if this game doesn't do good for them, will that signal that, hey, we tried and it didn't do well, so maybe we won't try again, which would be a shame because, again, it's an amazing game. Or do we go and say, okay, well, we understand it's this type of game. It doesn't typically do well. we'll try again. And I don't want this team to go by the wayside. I don't want them to fall apart, start laying off people or just become a support studio, because this is their second IP. The first one was the Medium, which was, it was okay. But this one is leaps and bounds better than the Medium. But they're still doing support stuff. Again, Konami, this was their second original IP, and I think they're going to go back to doing support work again. And I don't want that to happen to this developer. I want them to be able to go, hey, we are just as good as Capcom or just as good as Konami. So it's a little frustrating there to see.
You may want to fix that statement there. Konami doesn't make video games.
They got Silent Hill. They got Silent Hill F, which I can't talk about, but I've heard some great stuff about it. Also, look for that review in Outerhaven when it comes out. It's a little frustrating. It's when you see a good game not doing well, it tends to go, well, what the hell's going on? But then you see games that are like, maybe it shouldn't be doing as well, doing gangbangers. Then it's kind of like,
look,
all right, what's going on here?
You finally relate to the suffering that I have my whole entire life when I talk about video games. But who listens to crazy me? So speaking of listening to craziness, so what are the complaints about why PC handhelds weigh more than Switch? When I read this, I was like, this is the stupidest thing I heard in my life.
Oh, you looking at my topic, huh? Oh, stab it. Go for it.
No, it sounds really stupid just reading it. It just sounds really stupid.
You say that, but then there's a lot of people. So this stems from the reveal, the announcement of the Lenovo Go 2, and they're like, oh, hey, it's pretty heavy. It's pretty big. It's not as light as a Switch 2. And I'm like, for people who can't see this is me just putting my face in my hand and just going, I don't understand where this is coming from. So Scott can jump in anytime because I know he wants to say something about this as well. Folks, there is a difference between a chipset, we'll call them SoC, system on a chip, that is made for one particular purpose. The Switch 2 is made to play games. See, it didn't say the cuss word. The Switch was made to play games. You have handheld PC devices, hear the word, handheld PC devices that are made to do, okay, great. They will play games, but they do more. So they have higher quality parts in them. You got massive heat pipes. You got massive batteries. You've got a more complicated screen. You've got more complicated joysticks. You've got a bigger form factor to hold all that stuff in, and all those take up weight. So then when you get people going, well, it's not as light as Switch 2, I'm not going to be able to hold it. Bro, it's still a little bit more than a pound. You can't hold a pound in your hand.
You might need to do some weights, bro.
Yeah, you might need some lifting, bro. Or, hit the cardio, But it's kind of stupid because it's like the Switch 2 does less. It's whatever. Like, I know that in my Steam Deck, it's kind of chunky, but it's because the fans, it's coolant, it's GPU, has all the stuff in it that does more than a Switch. This is the thing.
Exactly.
Like a lot of people are assuming that like slick baby design means better or efficient, but in reality, it just means it does less. This is the problem that happened with
wow.
Let me finish my point here. This is like reminds me of like how people fell into the iPhone is better than the other phones category because it's just slicker. It was not better, actually. It was just inferior. It looks slicker. Like, great, you're falling for the same moronic plan that happened 20 years ago.
Rip Android, by the way. Rip Android.
Yeah, plus, I mean, with these devices, they also have this thing called a handheld that actually holds your hand, that you can actually, keep your weight fixated on 2 locations so that you aren't worried about this falling. One thing that I am annoyed with the Switch is there is none.
I don't hold my Switch. It stays in the dock.
So you have to do like weird handhelds to like this to like put all your weight in your palms, and it doesn't feel as nice.
It has the same issue that the ROG Ally has. This is why I really prefer the ROG Xbox Ally because of the grips on it. It definitely helps with the weight placement. So yeah, there's a reason why these things are a lot heavier, a lot chunkier. They do more, and they're providing you more. So it's just, I know I shouldn't have fell down the rabbit hole of listening to people complain about it, but it just goes, my God, geez, a pound, 2 pounds in one hand, and you can't hold it.
like it really makes no sense to me because I'm scratching my head. It sounds really effing stupid. But I'm like, do you know what's in these devices? What they do? A smaller, slicker device usually does less or very purposeful, while bigger devices usually dig up more. There's a reason why, like, there's a difference between a tower and a freaking work laptop. There is a difference.
Whoa. I'm going to say something real quick. Have you seen some of these laptops? Some of these laptops are chunky, heavy.
Oh, they get done. They get bigger and thicker.
Yeah.
They're big. But I'm saying a work laptop that was designed for, like, I don't know, like, typing office work and slowly scaring an email so you die kind of jobs, Work laptop. The skinny ones. Like, was it Notebook, Lenovo? Those baby ones.
The old little Lenovo books. Yeah.
I'm just listening to the people in the next room go crazy. So ignore me. I have to get up and jump and go. Am I needed here to stop this fight or something, guys?
No, I think it shows like a lack of, like, honestly, like, there is too many people online and too many critical thinking. Like, there is a reason why, like, get serious. He buys JoJo Bizarre Adventure omnibus. They're like thicker and heavier than regular manga. Why is his book thicker and heavier? Because it's an omnibus. It has more pages in it. Use your brain cells. Speaking of brain cells,
I didn't mean to make us sit on this topic.
No. It was so dumb. It's crazy. Yeah,
because I actually was going to do a video about it. I was like, I'm not going to waste an entire video about this. I'll just wait for the podcast and just talk about this because it's really dumb. It doesn't need to be a thing, but unfortunately, it was a thing.
It really doesn't need to be a thing.
Yeah. And speaking of things, a lot of people are not very happy about how playing games on PC work, and some people have suggestions about that. Baseline minimum requirements and all that. So why don't you let them know about that?
Man, I'm talking a lot this podcast.
So you have a lot to say. No.
So for somebody who's been in the PC gaming space for a very, very long time, I'm talking like back in the day of MS-DOS and games of that nature. When you wanted to play a PC game and your hardware was up to snuff, you simply could not play the game. That was it. Game over. Don't worry about buying the game. And sometimes they would tell you, if your hardware does not have this, and this, then forget about it. Like, I remember back when Doom first came out, and it was like, if your processor does not have a co-processor on it, which you can go buy at Silos and Radio Shack, wow, you couldn't play the game. So it's interesting. Why is people playing with my doorbell? It's interesting that we're at a point now where we have developers making these games, and we have all these baseline configurations. We have these minimum and recommended configurations. For those who don't really understand what that means, is developer will make a game and go, hey, the minimum hardware you can run this game is this. But if you actually want to play the game with bells and whistles, you want to go for the recommended PC spec. But the problem is people tend to blur those lines or ignore them completely. So if they say, hey, the recommended game or recommended thing is like a RTX 3080, and you need like an Intel Core, blah, blah, blah. That chime is really pissing me off. Then when you want to play that game, if you don't have this, then you fall into the minimum configuration, which means, okay, you might have to run the game at 720p instead of 1080p. You might have to run the game 30 frames per second instead of 60 frames per second. You might want to cut all these things down. And then people start going, well, this is really dumb. My game runs like ass. Why does it run like ass? Well, you're on the bare minimum now instead of the recommended, and thus your game's gonna run like trash. But then you got people getting mad and going on places like Steam and review bombing the game because I can't run this game because I have a potato machine or it's 10 years old and it can't run this game.
I think Scott said it earlier on the stream, but I'll let him say what he thinks about what minimum requirement means. What does that mean to you, Scott?
So for me, when someone says this is the minimum requirement, it is the minimum requirement for you to launch the application. And once the application is launched, anything's possible. But the recommended specs is usually what it means if you want to play the game.
Right.
So do you want to run the game or do you want to play the game?
Do you want a slideshow or do you want to experience the gorgeous that is 1080p, 60 frames per second, and all those great things? If you want that, you won't recommend it.
You forget now. Recommended. We do 120 FPS here. No,
No, exactly.
Try to do 120. We try. We don't get it.
we now have frame gen though. No.
We're not even getting to that conversation. People complain so much about, oh my god, it adds latency. These are fake frames, bro. It doesn't matter if it's a fake frame. Is your brain processing that, or do you just happy to see the numbers?
Yeah. One thing I do also want to note with the specs is that some people will take a look at one specific thing of the spec sheet and be like, oh, I have that, therefore it will run. And don't take a look at anything else on the recommended. So like, okay, so you just need like a 3060. That's fine. And they don't realize that, but you might need this specific high-powered CPU to make it run better. Or to run recommendedly, because one thing that you notice a lot in like Steam reviews especially is that there's people who will have like a really janky CPU, but because they have like the top of the line GPU, they think they can run anything, and then realize, why is it going so slow? It looks gorgeous, but it's like 10 frames per second. It's like, because you have a CPU from 20 years ago, guy.
Yeah, it's
gonna run.
It's a lot.
It's pretty crazy. Like for me personally, though, like when I see people complain about this, one of the things that was weirdly happened. I got Borderlands for PC. I also got it for my PS5 because of I play with friends and or family. Define what you mean for friends or family, different argument. But so
he doesn't play with me.
I mean, friends and or family. Define that as you feel that fit, right?
God, I swear this guy doesn't like me.
I mean, you're somebody, right? That's something, right? You should be proud of that. Anywho, so I was looking up the Steam reviews of the game because I threw a lot of money at this game. $100, please don't judge me. So I was like, negative reviews for Borderlands 4. And I'm like, what is going on here? People were complaining about it runs poorly, and they were like posting their specs. And I'm like, I'm an AMD guy now, okay? I think AMD is the GOAT. I'm sorry. I'm AMD.
No, it's not you think. It is. They are.
Whoa. Slow
People
your roll,
need to
buddy.
understand that Intel's shine in the sunlight is gone. They're gone. They dropped the ball.
Yeah, the 13th gen was basically their cliff. They decided.
Their main guy in charge is out. The people working on the GPUs are out. Intel... The U.S. government owns a portion of Intel.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I'm not even. The sad part is I'm bringing it to polite because let's let me get into that. But it's like politely. So I'm like, these people running these booty computers trying to run a game they couldn't be running or adjust their setting. It's like it's this weird social entitlement, not understanding. Like, this is my opinion. If you're going to build a PC, and I mean this politely, put as much bang for your buck as you can. I think people from this podcast will tell you how to build it, hit them up. They'll probably tell you like what you should get first, et cetera, right? And it's like I spent roughly 1.4, 1.6K plus discounts on getting a high-end AMD computer. I think the 970, the 9000 model. I had the highest model that's right now. That came so it's like I'm set for the next couple of years. Why would you go to a store and be like, yeah, the video 3026 is what I want, even though 5000 recommended. It's cheaper now. Doesn't mean you'll be able to play games, my guy. If you're trying to, you should invest for the future. And that's a social problem. You're patchworking yourself up. Just spend the bread. That's it. Just spend the bread because it's an investment for the future, a real future. Because I'm not thinking about any computer parts forever. I'm not thinking for computer parts until like 2035.
But let me get onto the crux or what I was trying to suggest. So I've had this conversation before with a number of people who are very savvy in the PC gaming space, and they all kind of agree. So what I said is that PC gaming needs a baseline. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going, what's the difference between a baseline and a minimum recommended configuration? A baseline is a term we use in the IT space that typically means this configuration works across the board, no issues, everything works just like how it's supposed to. If you apply that to PC gaming, that means the developers will work on a game and they say, hey, look, we're making this game to run on, hypothetical, let's say Steam Deck. This will run on a Steam Deck. Therefore, if it runs on the Steam Deck, it will run on anything that is at Steam Deck level or above, but not below. If you do not meet Steam Deck levels, forget about it. You can't play this game. Don't freaking try. It will look at your hardware and go, no, you can't play this. It has logic. Goodbye. Now, old PC games had this. They would look at your hardware and go, hey, you don't meet the requirements. You can't play me. And that was simply it. And you can't have people complain, well, I can't play this game. Well, did you look at the baseline? Did it say you need to have this, and this? No. Well, then why did you buy the game? Now, I know some people will come and say, well, that would hurt PC gaming. And I would say it would actually help PC gaming because people would realize that, hey, if I don't have this baseline, I know I can't play this game. So maybe I'll go out and buy the hardware, if you can find it, to make sure my PC is at that baseline. And developers can focus on working on that baseline. So then when games come out and people go, well, I can't play the game, I'm going to review on the game. Whoa. Or you have baseline? No. Then you have nowhere to stand. You have no leg to stand on. Shut up, go away.
Right. No, and I agree with that. And that's the crazy part about it. It's like your poor social decision making, whatever. It's like, I'm broke. It's like, yo, man, what am I supposed to do about that? Like, I'm sorry, man. You're like, you didn't make the right adjustment, financial blah. It's like, you're not entitled to play every game out there and know it just because you had the thing. That's my opinion. It, like, for example, I think when I was using a gaming laptop, and then Keith can contest to this, that I was like, oh, why can't I play this game? Your laptop doesn't have the energy. So I had to upgrade. I could not force my laptop to play Marvel Rivals. It wasn't happening. Sorry. So I just made the upgrade, and the best upgrade you good. I don't think, like I said, I think it's really an entitlement issue where people buy. Well, I'm real savvy. I spent $1,000 or like whatever on my laptop, my gaming PC, and it should play everything. Not really, bro. Do you know what you have in there? You know what's inside the hood?
I don't think that's good. Not what you said. I don't think what people do think is valid anymore. Because we're at an age where developers are like, how much power, how much can we crank into this game? How much can we throw in there? How many bells and whistles can we put in here? How many ray tracing effects can we put in here? How much this can we do in here? You know, and it's like, hey, you're every time you add a little bit of this, a little bit of that, to a snag to this, you're throwing in more that the computer that's running it is going to have to use. And then don't forget the wacky requirements or shit that game engines do. Unreal Engine 5, hey, it's probably one of the most busted game engines out there, but it does provide amazing quality. But it has performance issues. Oh, well, we're going to use that. But then you got other games that are using proprietary game engines, and they look amazing, run amazing, no problems, great stuff. But you still need the hardware to run those games. I just think that we would be at a better place if the game industry would adopt baselines. And it would sell more stuff. If you need to be at this level and you're at this level, you're going to go buy the shit to be at this level or above, or you won't play the game.
Right. And from my standpoint, from my money man standpoint, to be super honest, it will also boost up the market because now you're creating a demand for people to buy more stuff, and you can have price control, not price control, but like price up and down. And people will be competitive about, oh boy, the next, I don't know, GTA 6 requires, I don't know, an NVIDIA 7000, right? Well, now that's the baseline. If you get that, would go, well, but then there's all the competitors trying to compete with that. Boom, 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 boom. You're selling more. It's common sense, but yeah.
Plus, it will be better for developers. Yes, I know PC gaming has a bazillion different configurations, but if they focus on a less broad configuration, a less broad for the baseline, they can then optimize the game for that baseline, which means if they want to optimize for lower end PCs so that more people can play the game, they can do that instead of going, well, how about we go on the assumption everybody has new hardware from the last year?
Yeah, if you're someone who's focusing on freaking the 5000 series of NVIDIA, good luck.
Well, I just think that and I would love to talk to a developer and ask them why they aren't doing that. And I should probably do that because we do happen to know a couple of them. We should probably ask them why that isn't a thing. I can imagine it's because of cost and or scale and probably a lot longer release schedules, but it would stop things from like being review bombed.
I think it's also like a scale and data issue. Like how much data can you reliably require to know what's the average PC build? What is average PC build? It's not like, for all intents and purposes, a developer like, shout out Supergiant, I love you. Supergiant can just knock on the video or AMD and say, hey, can you give me your sales number in the last 3 years? Something like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, that that's not even realistic, because you got to remember, people also buy things secondhand and they go on eBay and get their stuff from there as well. But that's what I'm saying. If they don't have to go through all that and just not assume, but say, hey, we don't know the numbers. Let's
and that's the thing. Like I'm just trying to be as direct as possible in a normal market. As you point, there's a loophole, secondhand market. There's also tertiary markets where blah blah blah. Again, so it's like I think it's just the data to acquire that will be troublesome, and to collect and legitimize it, of course.
I just think it would be a better thing for PC gaming in general. I'm all for making PC gaming as less painful as possible, and it's gotten a lot better. Trust me, it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, it has.
But there's still a lot of room for improvement. A lot more room for improvement. Hell, I would love to get to the point where other developers are making games that run amazingly on these handheld devices. And therefore, if it runs great on that, it's going to run fantastic on your $5,000 super PC machine. I'm done. That was my rant.
No, it's understandable. Like I said, I understand the argument. I just feel like it's just two problems with the data and the social aspect. I think about there's a lot of people who buy computers or computer parts or whatever, and it just, as I would say, dumber than myself, or just like, I purchased, should work, and it's like, I don't think that's how that should work. I think that's not a way to do things, and I think that's problematic in its own regards, because it's like, I think it just hurts people. And speaking of things that's going to hurt people, so this is video game tournament that I care about, come every year. That I used to participate in when I wasn't in a wheelchair. Joking, I'm not in a wheelchair. It's called it's called Evo, and as of a couple of weeks ago, Evo has been bought out by essentially Saudi Arabia, essentially, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
They've been bought by Saudi Arabia, essentially. It's like, So we have now seen the efforts of the ways of Saudi Arabia and China owning esports and providing esports experiences, as well as other experiences like boxing whatsoever. So Evo's owned by the Saudis. Some people are not happy with it, and some people are like blase.
It's terrible.
I'm someone from the fighting game community, to say politely. We were always building to this. When you build a culture that's about chasing the bread and whatever, why are we surprised that we get bought out by a company that by a nation state or a set of or private interests that's all about money? Now, Saudi Arabia as a country is not progressive, and that's putting it lightly. Right, let's put it this way.
You thought we had Saudi Arabia, America? Whew.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia is for all intents and purposes, a dictatorial, somewhat not really a democracy state. Put it politely, if those who watch wrestling, there is a wrestling event that happens in Saudi Arabia, the WWE called Shankul. The Saudis are so averse to seeing women dressing anything sexual. The women who wrestle at Crown Jewel will have to wear bodysuits where they can't show any skin whatsoever. That's how conservative / not progressive they are. And that's just a baseline. I'm not even going deeper into that stuff. So you have the FGC, which has been permanently progressive. We have top trans players, trans content creators. We have gay people. We have furries. We have people of different color. We have a whole bunch of people here smashing buttons in games here. Saudi Arabia is essentially the benefactor and owns essentially the Saudis on the biggest tournament series of our claim, which has the biggest prize pool. Yeah, those two are not mixing well together. Leave it as that.
No.
Yeah,
I do not look forward to how it's going to continue either.
No, and jokingly, Saudis have obviously they have a bias. Let's say this year their favorite game is Tekken, next year is whatever. But the real problem I have with this is like I think the FGC. This was like the end road for the FGC because the last couple of years, last decade and a half, we have been focusing less on locals and other tournaments, and we just been focusing on the regionals and big tournaments. We've only been focusing on Capcom Pro Tour more than I hear people talking about other tournaments that weren't adjacent to it, because it was all about chasing the bread. And once the bread's been chased, there isn't really an indicator for like a backup grassroots to protect it. Now there are grassroots tournaments coming out from local areas, and I think we're getting a comeback for somebody. Somebody's coming back into it. Let's see if that's true. Let's see if he makes the comeback kid. Let's see if he can make the comeback kid makes a comeback.
Is he back?
Is he back? Hopefully. Is he? I'm at him and say he should be here. He was there. Let's see.
That doesn't look like Kevin.
That's like, well, he's
camera's
not,
not on.
he's just Kevin the Discord image now, the OBS image. But
Give me a sec.
yeah, this is what. Yeah, but Kevin, I was gonna say, like, you and I are FGC guys, and we've seen the change of like how people just don't go to locals. Locals are expensive. People, it's all about the bigger tournaments, the regionals, because people talk about payouts now rather than the experience. So it's like, with that being like a social set, Evo being bought by the Saudis is a logical output. And then, you know, some people are mad at us more. Like, I'm like, the people who are indifferent about it, don't care about it. It's more like, well, because they're still thinking about the bread. That's just the way I look at it. Can you probably agree with that, Kevin?
We lost him.
He's too busy trying to get his net impact championship money again. That's what he's thinking about. That's what.
Well, let me jump in there real quick until he comes back. So, on top of this, I've had issues before this happened because I've been following a lot of stuff that is going on over in Saudi Arabia, and I'm not a big fan of it. From the social injustice, the political issues, the way they treat certain classes of people, the way they don't like, to be honest, they don't like gays, and they're basically using sports, esports, to basically put a curtain over everybody's eyes, saying, "Hey, you know, come here. We're amazing. We're the best. We have no issues." What is the term they call it? Sports washing. Sports washing.
Sports washing. Yeah, they're trying to rebrand their country. Like, we're a cool country to visit. I remember they did this for FIFA a while back. Qatar. Yeah, the Qatar. I think it was Qatar that had the World Cup, the FIFA, and it was like, Qatar's a great country. Only realized the entire thing was built by, like, you know, people who are too poor to build anything. Things like that. They're trying to reshape their
and they do that there in Saudi Arabia too. Exactly. They work certain people to the death, and it's just, you know, there's nothing wrong with us. We don't kill journalists and stuff. Like, what? So I'm
at least you try not to kill journalists. No.
They should try not to.
It does feel like it's a mask in a sense. I agree.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I think, it's right. And go ahead.
Yeah, people are actually speaking against it. Like, there's been a lot of feedback in the industry where it's, oh, okay, we feel conflicted, and at the same time, it's crazy because now they have two majors literally in their pocket, right? So you got Evo, but you also got the Esports World Cup that's been gaining a lot of momentum in the last while. So it does have a lot of people conflicted with what's going on, especially some high players as well.
I've already said I'm done. I am not watching another Evo. I'm done. As much as I love staying up to watch Evo, I'm done. I can't support this.
I mean, I've been done with Evo since they put the plug on Plus R in 92. But, you know, that's just me, jokingly. But in a very serious note,
92. Wait. Sailor Moon R? What?
Yeah. He got the joke. Yeah, once they pulled the plug on Sailor Moon, it was done.
Sailor Moon. Hey, you can always watch us. You can always come watch Sun City, man. We got Sailor Moon fights. I'm on the East Coast. We got Reenie's
Sailor Moon
too.
Yeah. What? Repeat that. What did you say?
Reenie's not banned. Reenie's not banned.
Are you serious?
Reenie's not banned at all. No, that height, it's not going to.
I'm gonna roll up in a trench coat. Be like, yo, you got some games? I'm not gonna roll up in a trench coat and that suit. Like, you want some games? Like, what? But on a serious note, I think the real test of this Evo backlash, it's going to come to, will top players not show up to any Saudi-based tournaments? Will they do that? Will they have the spine to say no to money? And to me, I find it right.
No,
Keith, jump my gun here, but I agree that to a degree.
It's not happening.
I agree with that too, to a point. But, you know, especially like what just happened with the aggressiveness of the City of the Wolves tournament that happened recently, right? Like, it's just with esports, It's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a major. It's a fighting game based, fighting game based major. But at the same time, it was such a crunch time for everybody, where it's like, oh, we don't know if we're gonna make it in, and after when we do, we have to aggressively find a way to get to the actual esports cup. So
right
in that situation, but now because of this,
no, exactly %. And I think like if they can or can't do it, it's just problematic, because I think that, like, because the attitude I pointed out earlier in the conversation, so the attitude of get bread, get paid, It's all about winning your regionals, it's about winning your majors, and now start winning the big tournaments. That attitude become more precipitate in the fighting game community, where people think more of the outcome of money rather than the outcome of experience or being part of the community. You are part of the community if you win a tournament, but you're only there for the money. And people kind of conflate those 2 points I just made. So I wish the best for the FGC. I will still show up to Team Stickbug. I will still show up to local tournaments. I will still put money in Matcherino for scenes I care about. But I hope that people can not just say, oh, well, it's just Evo, it's in Saudi, and get over it, like the WWE is doing right now. WWE is having WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. So it's 2 pay-per-views in Saudi Arabia. They have WrestleMania and Crown Jewel.
I'm really wondering if they would do something really silly, as in pulling Evo from the States.
Oh, no.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
They've had so much roots. It's, like you're looking at least, 20 and change years of history. And then they just do that. That's going to be backlash.
I think once if that happens, that's a nightmare scenario. I think the FGC will realize that, like, quote unquote, the sold out era is over, and we got to go back to our roots and start playing for quarters. And again, Rainy's not banned in Canada, so any Sailor Moon fighter wants to come to Canada, take their money. I'm not joking. Are you? Like, you're not trolling me, right? I'm going to roll up in a suit. I'm going to be like, who's that? That's Mr. Why is he wearing a suit?
You can come. Ask Russell. He'll tell you.
Okay.
We got it. We got it. You can play it on the Super Nintendo emulators. We're ready.
All right. First of all, I'm going to ask you a question. This is what I think. Kevin, are you aware of the "We Don't Trust You" album cover with Future and Metro Boomin?
No.
Okay, that cover has Metro Boomin holding a suitcase and a suit. His hand is on his waist. That's gonna be me holding the money. Be like, oh, Rainy's not banned. Just walking that suitcase of cash. Like, thank you, everybody. Are you? You know, East Coast banned it for most people for a reason. I'm like, yo, all right. It's done. And speaking of things that are done, the Marvel Token beta is done.
Oh boy.
And,
I never got in.
I'm not in, so who cares about? I don't care about none of y'all. It's all about all y'all. So anyway, I got in. It's a good game. The GOAT because I could do unblockables. So jokingly, Kevin, did you also have a chance to play the Token beta?
I loved it. Yeah, I did play it. I ran with Tony Stark, Captain America, Kamala Khan.
Why not Storm? Come on, man.
I had Storm. She was my anchor.
No, you never respect. I told you. He doesn't get women.
I have Storm. Storm's on my team.
I've watched so many people play that game, and I'm like, how come people aren't using Storm? Like, she looks like an amazing.
She has a command grab. That's all you need to know. She has a command grab. So don't worry about it.
That win mechanic, I kind of was trying to understand that better.
I think she looks amazing when trying to keep people trapped in the corner.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
The corner juggling.
No, she's got some good game, like especially with some of her normals too. Oh man.
I really want to get in. I was like, I was checking every email, like, come on, PlayStation. I want to play. No Marvel for you.
Nope.
I'm glad it worked out well for me because Sony was like, yo, I got you, fam. Like, thanks for the hookup. It doesn't hurt that I actually went to other places to people who had it hooked up to play it there, but I was willing to do that. Which I recommend people do. Please go get your bread when you can.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's just what it is. I definitely enjoyed what. Like, I never even used Captain America in the NBC series, so seeing
you never used. Oh wow, I'm surprised.
I just didn't care for him. Like the Wolverine's there,
like in almost every game. He's got a double jump. People love the double jump. Don't you like double jump?
Wolverine can jump off a wall. I don't need that.
It's an American double jump. It's like the most American double jump ever happened.
American double jump. No, he's not viable. Like, look at half of his normals.
Whoa. He was viable. He was viable in Marvel 3 for 2 months. That's the highest America's ever been viable in my life. 2 months.
That's a terrible. That's a terrible American ass. Yeah, you're right.
See, there we go. That's viability to us. Like, yo, 2 months? Oh my god. But no, I ended up playing Star-Lord, the Queen, Storm, Kamala Khan, and I also played for Doom for a bit. But those are the people I was rocking. Star-Lord has Japanese sexy voice. That's what I gotta say. He's like, I am Star-Lord. I'm like, respect. And I think
yeah, but he
I
looks
think
like
Kamala
that guy from that Alien Hunter show. That
he does. Yeah, he does.
Totally Spies kids made. I mean,
Oh, Martin Mystery. Martin Mystery.
Mysterious. Yeah.
Martin Mystery.
Like
Yeah,
Kamala
Martin
Khan,
Mystery.
I was kind of surprised about her though. Yeah, that's her.
I mean, she plays well. She definitely has like a lot of mechanics that I enjoy about Super Scroll, but just done better. If you play Super Scroll on Marvel 3.
Oh yeah, yeah. She reminded me. Like when I first saw her, I was like, yeah, it's kind of a little dull. From a little her too, but it's like, yeah, it's Super Scroll. That's definitely.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a fun experience. And then we have to go from one experience to the next. I hope they release another beta for Tokon, and I wish they put a training mode. That's the two things. But
wish it was on PC.
I mean,
I know it's not going to come. We know why.
Yeah, I mean, you're asking too much here. It's Marvel. You get out of here.
We got idiots who don't know how to stop data mining shit. It's like, it's PC. Let's data mine. Could we not do this, please? Just
Can we not
ruin it for everybody else? Stop.
We gotta keep going.
Yeah, heck, they even data mine freaking betas and demos, because I'm pretty sure Digimon Stories demos already been data mined.
It's just like, this is why we're not getting these things. Just stop. Oh my god, please.
Oh yeah, exactly. They do that. They expose almost all the roster. Like I even know the City of the Wolves roster now, and I always try to block it out of my mind because I've seen that thing, and I'm like every single time I was looking at that game, I'm like, no, do not think about that list, Kevin. Stop.
Kevin, keep yourself pure. Just pick Ken and tell everybody you know how to play Street Fighter, and that's how you keep pushing. You know.
Exactly. But I think there's probably going to be about maybe 2 more betas, if I'm assuming right.
Yeah.
So
there's
a chance.
That's true, man. That's true. And speaking of things keep pushing, 2XKO. I played it. It's a video game. I'm gonna let Kevin
I love how he says that.
It's a video game.
I mean, that is the most truthful thing I can say, right? Is that a lot of? Am I lying? Is it not a video game? If not, let me know.
Essentially, you're just doing the whole it runs versus it plays.
Like you're going through the motions. It's a game that I played, but I don't really care for it.
Whoa! I care about it. I thought that I liked when I pressed start and it functioned. I think it was the best experience I ever had in my life.
You see the difference between the care for versus care about. No,
exactly. Yeah. Like when I press start, it's like it's me. Get serious. Oh my god, that was me.
I felt that way.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't seen the lobby back yet, so that's something.
Yeah, but yeah. No, I think it might be maintenance, but so. Before I get into my 10-hour diatribe on 2XKO and how that game broke my marriage and I'm homeless, you should donate to TikTok and Concilium so I get my house back and the kids. Kevin, tell them about the game. What did you experience with the game?
I went back to my usual Yeshiro and Aubrey team up. So I saw some differences, especially with the way they trade the music. Some of the Yeshiros. I feel like, some of the startups kind of felt a bit slower to me for some reason. I don't know,
it didn't feel consistent. Like one of the before my diatribe, I just put this out. A large portion of the cast does not have sweep. Some do, some don't. But what the hell is that? Down forward or 3 heavy it's not a sweep for everybody. No. I don't know if that was intentional. They just forgot to put it in there for everybody. But some people do, some people don't. So I was like, what is this?
That is something. I need to still explore a bit more, but I kind of noticed that too. Especially with some of the stances, I'm like, wait, that's not going to knock down. Are you serious? But you're totally right. I mean, I'm still digging into it myself too. Still mad about Pulse not being back as an actual stance mechanic. So, and that was one thing I hated as well when it came to pretty much the game itself. How you can choose which which groove that you're using, which fuse that you're using. and how they just put that at the back. You know what I mean? Like, say if you want to choose Juggernaut, you can only use one character, but the game is already saying, "Oh yeah, you can choose your 2 characters," and then when you're choosing your actual fuse, then you choose Juggernaut. You're literally locking off one character. It's
right. The UI doesn't explain that well. One of the things the UI lies about in the game, and this is before I do it, is that so when you beat the tutorial, you think the game's an auto combo. No, it's actually a chain/magic series like ABCD. So when you play the tutorial, you think, oh, everyone has an easy light combo, an easy medium combo, or easy heavy combo. No, it's actually you have to hit light, medium, heavy. The tutorial lied to you from the jump, so that's already points down. By the way, that's points down because not to me, because I know how to play fighting games. Yeah. But if I told Scott to play this game and Scott played the tutorial, and he's like, "Wow, I could just hit light and get a full combo." Then he plays a real game. What the fuck is this? That is not an experience. That is not a good experience.
No, because that's from Pulse, though, isn't it? Like when you're doing the
exactly. Yep. That is that. Yep. And yeah. So it shows like this beta was slapped together, kind of like lazy-esque. And now I'll get to my diatribe about this game. So 2XK was a video game. It's a video game that exists, and I think that you should probably play Marvel Tokon Souls over this. Now, here's the reason why.
No, play Marvel versus Capcom Infinite and Beyond.
No,
you know what if I was a legit savage, I would say that. I'm not there, Kevin. That's why you're evil and an Impact champion, and I'm trying to hustle people out of Sailor Moon Fighter in a suitcase.
The Baishoujo Moon fighter back in the day. No.
yeah, the Baishoujo for the homies, you know.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Ben Preston was on to something after Hyperdimension, okay? And I think that was
let's not stop. Somebody saw the future. Like the problem I have with this game is that like there's some things that are put together properly, makes it weird, like etc. I think one of the things that I feel conflicted about this that this game just feels like a game that is built off very heavily off the bones of Rising Thunder, adding mechanics from other games.
Yes.
The quick tag mechanic that it has, which came from BlazBlue Cross Tag and also featured in Power Rangers Battle of the Grid, is in this game as well. And surprise, surprise, if you don't know this, Clockwork, or his government name, Daniel Manigo. If I say your name wrong, I'm sorry. Daniel. I respect you. You're my favorite Strider player until that one time you choked and I lost $5 off you. Understandable. Everyone dropped combos. Understandable. But he worked on Power Rangers The Grid, and now he's here in this game. Oh, new mechanic came in. Exactly. They hired somebody. I think I spent a lot of by beta playing several characters. I played Darius, I played Braum, I played V, I played Henri, and this game doesn't have Jinx. This game doesn't have a proper zoner, which is like, I don't know why. It's just like Jinx is just a mix-up item character, a trap character, essentially. That's the way to describe her, right?
Yeah, because they were trying to make her that. But
it's like, where's my zoning at?
Yeah.
Why can't I? Because this is why I think you can't zone. Because imagine if you had a character who could throw a full screen fireball, a full screen projectile that has hit stun, right?
Yeah.
Tag cancel. Imagine the handshake mechanic. You can tag cancel from a mid screen or full screen fireball, and how some characters have good movement in this game.
Yeah.
You tag Yasuo. Yasuo stance can hit you full screen, semi full screen. Fireball cancel, he get a full combo easy every time.
Well, I mean, Face the Wind could also do that too, but
whoa! We're trying
you'd
to
have to,
here.
Yeah,
okay?
you gotta like use the
keep the tech in your pocket. I'm trying to win majors here. Okay, relax. Keep the tech in your pocket, man. Come on.
Taste the Wind is such a good move. It's a shield.
Well, you need that. It's a garbage move, and no one ever uses it. That's what you're saying, right?
I use it.
Don't say you use it. Say it's a garbage move nobody uses. I'm trying to teach you to downplay. This is how we do it in the FGC. You downplay everything until you get caught. Like,
No,
I'm not going to
you downplay an overhead that takes 10 seconds to hit. You don't.
Whoa, bro!
Like that.
Brahms down forward 3, having beating low profile. That's not broken. That's legit. Whoa! I earned that. I've earned that. That's me.
You want a medal?
Yeah, damn straight. I don't want a medal, the trophy, the woman, the party, everything. That's gonna be big me right there. Anyway. One of the problems I also have with 2XKO is that I don't like the button scheme mechanics. It uses light, medium, heavy, tag, assist, the same button, special button 1, special button 2. And then when I look at this on my stick, I'm like, this is a 4-6 button fighter. Why? Now, I understand that the special button attack was designed so people can play without doing hardcore inputs.
Yeah.
But you could have just dropped heavy and just went light, heavy. And then,
I mean, they should have probably just done that because you
could have just done light. Yeah, and
light and heavy.
Right. And the thing is, like, one of the things about this game too is I feel like this is going to be a hot take. 2XKO is a game that has some inspirations, but it borrows heavily from other people. It reminds me of Street Fighter 4, but Street Fighter 4 got away with it because it proved a lot of people didn't play the fighting games in between the quote-unquote dark ages, but that's a whole different argument from the time. But the thing is that, like, this game borrows from other people's ideas. Yeah. They're not broken. They're not bad. None of the ideas or comments in the game are strong, weak, or difficult to utilize. And it didn't feel like it was making me feel stupid, but it's the most inoffensive fighting game I've ever played ever, and that's the problem. It has no sauce. It's just boring. It does everything. It does everything it's supposed to, but there's no sauce, no cheese, no. Oh my God! I robbed you of your life and money. There's no Metro Boomin drum loops in the game. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, because I mean, I do give them props for the way you can pick troops. That in itself is pretty strong. Itself, like, like, what if you want to use 2 characters? What if you want to, like, have a tag system? What if you don't? Like,
here's the thing.
It's all
you mean selectable tag mechanics? You know who also has that in a way that's more innovative? This game called Marvel. We just talked about a couple minutes ago, buddy.
Not necessarily. Like, it's just
So it's like it's not. It's not. It's just, yeah. So
tag,
it's like
you kick diagonally and you get the person in. Like.
Yeah, but like I said, it's like it's just inoffensive. There's nothing about the game that it borrows heavily, but there's no sauce under it. There's nothing wrong with borrowing heavily. Like I said, Street Fighter 4 borrowed heavily from other mechanics, but it had some sauce in it. You had, Sea Viper. One point we had Dudley. We had War Crime Yun. You had War Crime Yun and Yang at one point. We had people realizing Phantom was broken because Crouching Medium Punch, and I can't believe they took that away from me. That was my one chance to be a real Evo champion, and they took one from me because they want to keep the Caribbean man down. Oh wait, I said it out loud, didn't I?
Gosh, you Menard, right?
Is it not true? Is that what they tried? They did to keep the Caribbean man down, right?
I don't know though. Like,
you know about that?
It still feels like it's still early, even though they kind of no. They kind of lost when you think about it, because it's a tag game and you only got like 6 characters available.
And then, by the way, if when the game comes out fully, none of your beta data would transfer to the real game, and to unlock characters, you have to get a token system or buy it outright, which is stupid because I'm going to say this politely: their competitor, not Marvel Rivals, game of the year, baby. Anyway, Marvel Rivals, all character comes out launches free. You can boot up right now and play Angela, aka Mommy, right now. Okay. Look, that's what they're calling her. I have the kids call her Mommy. I'll say too. It is what it is. You know how it is, Kevin. People say it's like, oh no, I guess I have to do it too.
Yeah. I guess.
But yeah, 2XKO it's a highly polished, very inoffensive but bland fighter that doesn't have sauce under it. Because if you played the games you've seen it's done before, but it's not interesting in a way. This is a game that I feel like is a permanent side game kind of problem. And the beta, in and of itself, they gave it to us, has incomplete mechanics of it. And again, the tutorial lied to you, and not everyone has a sweep. That is 2 things that made me lose my mind. How did you program like 2-3 characters sweep? Like, how did you let that happen?
Yeah.
And that's not even mentioning that 2XKO is going to be the one that has the smaller roster when they both come out.
Exactly. And by the way,
if it fully comes out, when Tokon comes out, yeah, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, it's like
And then
Good luck.
Invincible shows up.
yeah, and then you put exactly. And you know what, to save themselves, they got to release Arcane Season 3. That's the only way they can save themselves. Arcane Season 3. That would save them. But in a serious note,
The Ruined King 2. No.
don't play with my heart there, Scott. Don't play with my heart there. I would legit cry. I would like Ruined King, like my goat. I would just I would scream that with my hands up like the guy crying ugly. But in a serious note, what ruined is that like Marvel Tokon, even though it's a beta and it has like they only let you play one mode, it felt more complete mechanically than the other game, and that scares me. That's the problem I have with 2XKO. It's inoffensive, it's not complete. It's a beta that doesn't even feel near complete or has an idea what it's trying to do. It has a bunch of ideas they throwing at you to do something, but at the end of the day, it's not that committed to any of those ideas. That's a problem. I would like I said, Sailor Moon Fighter is a good fighting game. It stuck to its insane hard knockdown properties. Hard knockdown properties in Sailor Moon Fighter are war crimes. You know this.
Oh god.
That in this, at least they stuck to it. Could you imagine? Like, actually, you could just put a mechanic that's called you hit 2 punches down. You actually turn off the hard knockdown. Why would you put that in the game? Like, you're just kind of be inoffensive, trying to like mass appeal. Like, as much as I generally want my fighting games to appeal to people, I also want them to have an identity to do that. And I can't think of anything that 2XKO does unique compared to other tag fighters that are coming out or in the past that sets it apart. And I think that the tag mechanic at best is the best thing they've done, but Marvel has it too. And so does Power of the Grid. And so does Blue Cross Tag.
Yeah, definitely.
Which please play. And by the way, if you play Blue Cross Tag, I generally think that you are either A, a war criminal, or B, someone you put on the FBI list for bodies.
I'm kind of hoping that things get better for them. Like, especially like if we do get to finally see the full brevity of what they're trying to accomplish with their new roster or roster.
Oh no,
it's just...
I hope for the best for them. But the product they gave me now makes me go like I went from a hard 70 to I'm now 40.
Dang.
Because
I was thinking at 50, but yeah, I guess
it
looks pretty. It's pretty,
dude. I play Pixel Fighters. I play JoJo's Heritage Fight for the Future. That game is just pixel art. Okay, I don't care.
But that's peak. That's brilliant stuff.
Get silly out here just playing Mugen games all day. No.
Whoa. Not true. You have to have a suitcase first. Like, you want to play some Mugen? Like, oh, what? Yeah.
Wait, was JoJo? I forgot. Was JoJo CPS2 or CPS3?
I believe it's CPS2. I could look it up for 3. I actually have to confirm that. That's a good question. The sound, the audio sound is like, yeah. But yeah, speaking of things that sound great, and we went over fighting game things. Let's talk about Nintendo. Nintendo sounds great, right? We all love Nintendo.
Oh boy,
right? we all love Nintendo.
Hey man, Virtual Boy's back.
Virtual Boy's back, baby. Blinding lights.
No need to rub your eyes and hope for the future when it comes to virtual.
When it comes to Virtual Boy, yeah. So we
Red
recently
alarm.
got Red Alarm. Yeah, we recently got the Nintendo Direct, and they released a lot of things coming up in Nintendo Direct. For most people, it's going to be another 5 years of Three House discourse again. Shout out to people for that never letting that problem go away. That's happening. There were some Mario games. People love playing overpriced Mario games. We have that, and that's pretty much everything in a nutshell, jokingly. But no, honestly, let me guys, Keith, since you have been the most perturbed and holding it in, let me know how you feel about Nintendo. How you feel the Nintendo Direct that came out recently?
There's no F-Zero. So
there's no F-Zero. There's no F-Zero. Look at him standing on principle. No F-Zero, no buy, right?
I mean, there wasn't really anything there that really tickled my fancy. Now, me add to that was specifically exclusively for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nothing. That was the thing. Super Mario Galaxy went into, okay, that's mildly interesting, but okay. But everything else that they shown is coming elsewhere. So with exception of Fire Emblem, which that's not my jam. So
yeah.
All right, whatever.
All right. I mean, wow, that was quick. I expected worse, but okay, I'll take what I can get.
I mean, they're not. I mean, they. You want me to say that they damaged me for life with the original Virtual Boy, and it's a damn thing that they're bringing it out for everybody else to get messed up.
Not only are they bringing back Virtual Boy, but they're bringing back all 14 games that came with it.
Yeah, exactly.
The entire library of Virtual Boy will be on the Switch too.
And that stupid peripheral,
And Switch.
that stupid
And
accessory.
Switch.
You're
Yeah, that's
bringing
true.
all that with you. Like, why? Why? So somebody said to me in chat, and we were talking about it, and I was like, well, because the Game Boy works so well, I guess they thought, well, we can bring out red and black games, and that'll sell.
Yeah, no, the Virtual Boy was it was
It was shit.
It was a
shit.
step up for the
It
game,
was so
but
shit. It was actually. Oh, sorry, my bad.
it sucks. It did suck. No,
It was
It
the
was so
goat,
shit.
man.
It actually made cameos on different TV shows when it came out.
they were trying to
Yeah.
market this thing so heavy because of it costing so much to make, because it was all this like brand new tech they didn't know what to do with.
Here's a hot
And
take.
so-
They wanted to do something that was, how could we top Rob? Remember
Yeah.
Rob?
I remember
was
Rob.
useless. They were like, let's do something to top Rob. How about Virtual Boy? Hey, get that. And it sucked.
They were trying to top Rob. Okay, I thought
They
they
wanna-
were trying to go for the pad that came with track and field, but hey, Rob.
The headset
Yeah,
sucked.
Rob is up there. Yeah.
You had to put it on a table or something to play the game. The controller sucked. It was.
I thought
And
Rob.
people call it a VR headset. People call it a VR headset.
Yeah.
None
It's
of that
not
was virtual. None
virtual.
of it.
No. It's a weird like infrared light thing that it was
Pretty much.
it's weird.
Yeah. I mean,
But,
I remember playing that in a department store. Like, I would just run Red Alarm like crazy. You know, like every time I was there, hey, Mom, I'm just going to go play some Virtual Boy. You don't mind? You go shop. You do what you got to do. You know?
Like I love you, son. But you know, you're doing what you're doing. I'm like, all right.
Keep in mind, the Atari Jaguar had more games than this did.
I mean, is there anything that has less games than the Virtual Boy?
I wanted to say Ouya, but no.
Even the Ouya had more games. Yeah.
What about Gamecom from Tiger?
Huh?
Oh my
I don't
God.
know actually. I don't know what games are on Gamecom.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Engage.
crazy.
Yeah.
The end.
let me take a look. How many games did it have? No, it had more games.
Yeah. If you got more than like 10 games, odds are you had more than the Virtual Boy.
Jeez.
Virtual Boy. Yeah, so that
But
sucked.
they're getting the whole library.
The whole library, the whole fun for the whole family, man. That's just crazy.
Sucked.
It sucked, but yeah. All right. So that's Keith's take on it. Let's see. I guess the one of the resident Nintendo people, the one of the two. Scott, what you know about it?
Alrighty, so I'm a little more optimistic on it. I do admit, though, that a lot of the games that were shown are going to be third-party and released elsewhere. The ones that I was super excited about were Dragon Quest VII getting a remake. That was the one that we
Yeah.
actually talked about on SSS beforehand.
Yeah, we were like, we need the future. You should check out Support Safe Scumming. It's on YouTube. That's the future.
Yeah.
We saw it.
But see, Scott, you're gonna play that on your Ally, though, aren't you?
I'll play it wherever I
Whoa.
get it, honestly.
Whenever I get it, yeah, I'm playing it. If it's coming, I'm coming. You know, that's it.
Yeah. And knowing me, because I'm me, I'll probably have it on multiple consoles. I'll probably get one for like review, and then I'll probably buy one for a different console I can play somewhere else.
I'm
So-
gonna have it. I'm gonna have it on my Steam. I'm going to borrow my brother's credit card to force it on his PS5 when it's there. I'm going to break into another friend's house who own an Xbox to force him to buy it, and then I've done my job for Square Enix.
Yeah, another game that I'm really excited about that finally did get its release date was Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. That one is actually one that will be a Switch 2 exclusive. So I'm one of the weirdos that really loves the Musou genre, so I love the Warriors games. So Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is up my alley. Plus, they're getting the Dynasty Warriors Origins DLC, and Dynasty Warriors Origins itself will now be on the Switch too, because it skipped the Switch. So
That sounds fun. personally, I'm still praying for a day we get Dragon. Is it? I forgot the name of it now. It's on my head. The Dragon Warrior Musou game. I hope we get a third one of it. I just want.
Yeah, hopefully we get Dragon Quest Heroes 3. Yeah.
Heroes, there we go. Heroes 3. Yeah, that's what. Like, I'm sitting here, like, I'm watching Hyrule Warriors come out. I'm like, that's great. You guys have a game. I love all of you, and I'm sitting there just gritting my teeth in pain.
It's because Dragon Quest is focused now on their monsters games.
Those games are good, but I want to hit some stuff, man. I want to hit.
The other one I was really excited about, I probably won't get to really play it for a while, would be Donkey Kong Island's DLC for Donkey Kong Bonanza. Just because we get to go back to Donkey Kong Island in the new era of Donkey Kong. Metroid Prime 4 finally got a release date after being shown in like 4 different directs this year.
Yeah, after 20 years in the making,
How many years has it been delayed? My God.
So I think it's like 2019 or something. So it's been like 6 years.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, but we're finally getting a release date, which honestly it's later than I was expecting. With how early they started showing it off at like preview events. Metroid Prime 4 was like everywhere like a few months before the Switch 2 came out. And it's still not coming out until December. But I think that's because their November's taken up by Kirby, their October's taken up by Pokemon. So December was their most logical route, I guess, because they didn't want to release anything in October other than Pokemon. The only other thought I could think is if they wanted to shadow drop it on September, but I wouldn't.
No, I think there's too much. There's too much. It's not happening.
Yeah. I am actually really excited we're getting another Fire Emblem. It is one of those guilty pleasure games of mine because I really do like the cast system they have for Fire Emblem. I do think that the gameplay was the best in Engage, but the story was better in Three Houses. So hopefully they can combine the two, but I don't know if they will. Because a lot of the story of Three Houses was actually written by Omega Force from Koei Tecmo. Which makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because it's basically just Dynasty Warriors, but but Fire Emblem.
Yeah, but the thing was, like, when you actually got when you were actually fighting on the board, and you see the characters fight, it's like, okay, yeah, it's not just that character being represented by just one character. It's like, oh, that's a character, but he's got about like 4 or 5 guys on him.
Yeah, he has his bodyguards with him.
Exactly. They're still fighting, and it does feel like a clash.
Yeah. So it is interesting that they're going back to the individuals fighting instead of the armies fighting, but it is supposed to be like the gladiators type of thing. So I guess that's what they're doing it for.
Yeah, they're trying to put that visual flair on it.
One big surprise for me, this will be the final one, was Danganronpa 2x2. That is another one I was really excited about seeing, especially because for those of you in the Danganronpa space, you'll notice about it's 3 years ago, people were a lot more negative on Danganronpa 3 after Danganronpa started getting more mainstream. And Kodak, one of the writers, was talking about how there was different things he'd want to do with the game if he was able to remake it. And this is him being able to remake it. So we'll see if he gets to put his vision into this Danganronpa 2 remake, as well as if it's just going to be the what if scenario as going to be what he would do it for the remake. Because the what if scenario apparently is just the same place, but different people or same people, but different things were happening on the island. So it'll be interesting to see just how that will be played out, and if it will be as different as he wants it to be, or if it's just a few changes here and there.
That sounds crazy. I never really was into Danganronpa as a game. I played it it's something it's a game I would play when I see it on sale. I mean, I'm joking. As someone plays it's on sale, I'll look at it. But for me, the Nintendo Direct, it was interesting. I think Nintendo fans have something to be happy about. Because they're Nintendo fans, they're always happy because it's Nintendo. I think the only game Firebolt, I have my questions on. It's I hope that the game has a proper difficulty mode, like Awakening, and not sold as DLC, because that would be great. Just make it in the game normally. That would be great. Metroid Prime 4. It's like I guess I'll blow off. Blow off my save states and like get back into it. I mean, it's fun. That's honestly, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. I haven't played it yet, so I'm assuming that's good. They still got Kirby though. Kids love Kirby. He's the name of the show. He's the star of the show.
Yeah. Sakurai gets another specific direct just for him to talk about Kirby.
Which is like his whole job. But overall, I give this Nintendo Direct Plus an A-. Like overall.
Yeah.
A-.
That's actually, yeah, I'd probably boot a B+ or A- would be my in between grading.
It's definitely a B.
It's an A-. A-. Yeah, A-. It's
the only thing they needed was another Zelda game. No,
what is the qualifier for a B, A-? Like seriously.
Okay, A-. You have showcased your games well. It's tight to the point. The games you have showed are more hits than misses. You actually showcased gameplay and gameplay. You had Sakurai, who said nothing, who didn't call no one dumb fucks, which is great. You had Miyamoto did not pull out a gun to shoot Itoy in the face for Mother 3. That's always a possibility. So that's A-. It would have been an A+ if Miyamoto says, I don't want to be here no more, and then transferred into a rocket ship and flew off. That's an A+.
Jeez. I mean,
I'd be like, because that would have been the GOAT. Like, he quit his job. My respect. I don't think you should, but that's respectful.
Yeah.
I guess I'll give it to him. I mean, and especially for what they showed as well, too, with the Super Mario movie. I mean, that's
kind of the Mario Galaxy as a movie.
I mean, they teased it in Super Mario, right? So when they got that Star Kit out, it's just like, yeah, they're going there. How long they'll go there? That's the one thing. It's not like where it's like back in the day where like you have a video game movie and it's like, oh no, they're gonna go and they're gonna do it in sequence. They gotta kill this guy. Then this guy shows up in the second one.
Yeah,
they just went straight to Galaxy, which is pretty crazy.
I mean, they had to. I mean, Mario as a franchise doesn't have a consistent story ending, so they just pluck whatever they want and call it a day. I mean, this is just being like, yeah, it is what it is.
It's more of just a status quo kind of a deal.
Exactly. Yeah, it is what it is. The only thing I guess people are controversially, but like upset about is particularly like I would say the Mario Galaxy double pack.
Yeah.
Because Mario. Because like to cut the story, like Mario, they sold a collection pack a while ago, and if you're in the sauce, that collection pack were not great ports. If you're somebody who knows speedrunning, and like they were not good ports, so now they're doing another port again, and we're like, wow, are they just gonna rob us? Yeah, they're probably robbing us.
I'm hoping that they actually put effort in these ones, just because it's supposed to hopefully be adding, fire and add in hype for the movie. So that's my hope, but at the same time, when it comes to them porting games over from one console, a lot of the time they are literally ports. Like they're not like at all changed. They have the same aspect ratio, the same bugs that they had before, and nothing gets really added or changed.
Well, they're not adding anything other than adding the Rosalia's storybook in the second game. That's literally a couple more pages.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can play it in 4K on the Switch too.
I mean, to be fair, that is at least an upgrade from those ones that didn't have better aspect ratios. But it's going to be interesting to see how the Mario Galaxy ports go. But at the same time, also having it like $70 for 2 games, maybe not.
I guess that's the
people are going to buy it. Well, you don't have to buy them. I'm not defending them, but just adding out there. But they're both $40 a piece.
Yeah,
I'm not paying $40 a piece for a 15-year-old game.
Mm-hmm. Or you can get it for $70 if you buy both of them.
Even better.
That's $10 off.
$10 off.
You're saving money. Hooray!
Yeah,
it's so ridiculous.
Though the actual like physical storybook is really cool.
Yeah. I think that is pretty cool. I think that's going to sell out too.
Scott, I'm just surprised that, Scott, I'm just saying, I'm just surprised that that I didn't when Nintendo Direct started, I didn't see Estelle say, "Hi, I'm Estelle. I'm the creator of the Nintendo company." I didn't surprise it didn't happen.
That's
Estelle
because you
Bright
only
wasn't there.
watch the American one. If you watch the Japanese one, she's there.
Oh god. Yeah, for guys you don't know, Tales of the Sky first chapter is redoing the story. So it is a bit that we're just going with that we think Estelle actually saved the universe. So she was there she was at the Nintendo Direct. Why not?
She was at the Nintendo Direct in Japan, but they apparently decided to cut her out and add more time to the weird Dinklewood trailer for some weird reason.
I don't know why they would do something like that.
I don't know.
But like in a serious note though, I do feel like in like a non-contentious way that's probably the only complaint, and that's why it's an A-, like that game, because it's like, do I think people are now, if this was the first 3D port that happened over, people didn't know better. It's like now people are wary. It's like, I'm wary about it. I mean, will they spend the money? That's on them. It happened before.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for the best, and if nothing good happens, we can always just we do blame Miyamoto. No, I'm sorry, blame Sakurai.
I also have no faith on Resident Evil Requiem running well on the Switch too.
I have no idea how that's gonna go.
That is not even like a conversation. It's like, yeah, that happened, I guess. Like, sure.
Yeah, I mean, look at what happened with Resident Evil Village on Switch, right? I mean, that says something.
we learned a lot today about that. I don't want to. Okay. I'm. This is a small tangent, but I'll never understand how people I could port a AAA game to the Switch, and I mean AAA game to the Switch, and hope it runs okay. Like, you have to be out of your mind.
I mean, why can't they just do it the same way Namco used to do it when they wanted to throw Tekken onto stuff? Like, yeah, let's just do this shit from the ground up, smile at ourselves, and when it does suck, well, hey,
we'll blame you. Yeah,
exactly. Blame consumer.
Blame the consumer.
Say it's going to be groundbreaking technology when they actually have the system out, but then after when
it goes to crap, and then you'll see Harada say, "Don't ask me for shit. You're stupid. Don't ask me for shit. Don't ask me for shit." I miss him now, because now his life has been misery since Tekken 8. I miss when he used to be a fun guy.
Oh, season 2? No, he's still fun.
Yeah.
He's just having fun with Murray, just doing all the line support. That's it.
That's it, yeah. And speaking of having fun, if you had fun on this podcast, be sure to follow us on Blue Sky, YouTube, and check out Spectator Mode on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Spotify, where podcasts are hosted. This is Kevin, Scott, Keith, and myself, Casilla, signing out, and I hope you guys have a good one. Let's get some final words. I am ready to eat this delicious sandwich I made.
What kind of sandwich is it?
Chicken salad, cheddar cheese, sriracha mayo. Something simple.
Yeah.
Toasted ciabatta bread.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty simple.
All right. Yep. Time to go. Go kill these kids.
Alrighty. See.
Whoa. You don't have to say that out loud. Say it quietly.
I'm not like some people. I say the quiet part out loud.
Whoa. That's pretty offensive there. You can't. Yeah, but support Tactics Ogre. See you guys.
Bye.
See ya.